Hi, CBC family. Long time no see. In fact, it's really hard and very strange to believe that it's almost a third of a year since we met together. Who would ever have thought that we'd be living through a time such as this? Yet here we are, and we are still very deeply in the thick of it. In order to help us understand how some people are experiencing this pandemic, I've invited a few of our folk to share with us what they're going through in their daily lives. Many people are experiencing great hardship, many struggles, many challenges at this time, and we need to continue to look after ourselves and to look after one another. We need to stay safe and we need to pray, and I hope that listening to these experiences will help you to pray more earnestly and more specifically. God bless you all.
Hello, I'm Sister Nikki from the military hospital. I just want to say we need to really please pray for all the nurses and doctors out there, all the cleaners, or everybody that's working on the front line. It's incredibly demanding and very stressful, and staff are being spread thin at times, and working in theatre, yes, we have had COVID patients in theatre, so we've had to accommodate that for sure. And we help out in the COVID clinic, and that's doctors and nurses. And it's been stressful seeing how patients can become ill so fast and rushed into ICU and still fully clothed in their jeans, like they've just walked out of Pick and Pay kind of thing. It's quite heart-wrenching. So we really need to pray for everyone, pray for the families that cannot be with their sick ones in hospital. Just pray that this will soon subside and give us all strength and encourage us all to carry on and keep going.
Hi everyone, I'm Modinal and I'm a retired nurse. I've been with the Defence Force for plus minus 30 years, and since my retirement I have then come and joined the retail clinics at Pick and Pay. So at Pick and Pay I've been doing baby immunization, family planning, etc. etc. When the pandemic started and they felt that they needed a COVID team, they then set up a COVID team. Pick and Pay has set up a COVID team in Johannesburg, of which now people around all the provinces are activated to do the screening. So in lieu of that, we have now closed all the retail clinics because it became a bit dangerous for people sitting around the stores waiting to be helped by the one sister at all the clinics that have to see to all the clients. With the result, I am activated by the COVID people from Johannesburg, and activation does mean that you've got to be on standby 24/7, because when they find a positive patient, they then would call you and close the store, have the store deep cleaned, and before any of the staff can go back, they need to be screened by a registered nurse, of which I am one of the nurses around the country that go out and working specifically in the Western Cape, from, I would say, southern suburbs, northern suburbs, as far as the countryside as well. So my day would easily start around about 5 o'clock, because the managers of the store prefer you to be there before they open. So that is around about 7 o'clock the morning, you've got to be there. And you can literally go from one store to another depending what the need is and the availability of other nurses. I'm often called 3 times, up to 3 times a day, And that can mean I can be in Simonstown one moment and the next store would be out at Willowbridge, Worcester, Wellington. And it takes me, depending on the size of the store and the amount of staff that need to be screened, it can take up to 3 to 4 hours to do the screening, get everything tied up because copies must be brought back to the office. And of course your traveling time can be from half an hour to 2.5 hours of traveling time. So that covers a lot of mileage within one day. And therefore by the time I get home I feel extremely exhausted. And my exhaustion isn't just because of seeing the staff, but it's also the anxiety that's projected on you as the nurse, because the stores close so often and you find the staff have the tendency to blame the managers or management for not doing certain things and not keeping to certain protocol. But in retrospect, when one actually look at it, yes, they do keep to protocol. There are protocol put in place by the COVID people and they follow through with that. Staff aren't allowed to go back in after deep cleaning and after being screened. But just sitting there in the process of screening them, you actually, after I have briefed them, you actually find that they don't adhere to the protocol by keeping safe distance. They don't mask up completely, and they do not sanitize in between sharing pens and paper. Are we winning? Are we making headway of all of this? I doubt. There's an increase of cases continuously, and I think unless it really hits home, unless you lose a family member, somebody really close to you, I think then the penny will drop. Because irrespective, before I do screening, I make a point of briefing the people, telling them what to do, reminding them what to do to keep themselves safe. By protecting yourself, you are protecting your family. And it's good, yes, to hug and kiss and have a friendship happening here. But think about of what you are taking home. And the moment you find people that has families that have died, you see a complete change of attitude, and they seem to be more careful. And so I come in and not just dismiss their normal headache and colds and flus, because that also lowers the immune system and can also predispose them to the virus. So I make sure that we manage that as well. The things that will protect us and bring the numbers down is the simplest things that one finds the hardest to adhere to, and that is masking up, sanitizing, and distancing. And if we can adhere to those three things, I am sure that the numbers will come down. Prayer items for myself, it's safety, number one. As I say, I leave quite early in the morning. I'm alone in parking lots. I have to find my way at quiet malls where there's only securities, go into areas where there's nobody until 7 o'clock when the staff come, which I find very daunting at times. Also, when I do come home, driving along the dark, lonely roads at night. And then also daily strength, that I try and make sure that I have 6 to 7 hours of sleep, but it does become overwhelming because you come home sometimes feeling very stressed and can't sleep, and so I pray that yes, I am trying to boost my vitamins, exercise and doing all of that, but we realize in spite of all of that, we are still, because of all my comorbidities, I am still exposed to the possibility of contracting. Thank you for listening, and I believe through prayer and wisdom, this too shall pass. It sounds very cliched, but through God's grace, we will get through this together. Thank you.
Hi there everyone, how's it going? It's really good to be able to send you a message and just give you a little bit of an update on how things are going in my life. I'm going to take my mask off just so it's a little bit easier to hear me. Please excuse the beard. I am a little bit overworked, so a little bit lazy to shave actually. I'm in Taung District Hospital in the rural northwest, for those of you who don't know me. Thankfully, we haven't been too badly affected by the COVID crisis yet. And when I checked our statistics this morning, we have only 15 cases in the area with 3 recoveries, so there's only 12 active cases. However, quite unfortunately, it does look as if people aren't really locking down at all over here. So we're seeing people without masks, people who aren't social distancing. The town is absolutely buzzing. It's really busy. So we are expecting that in the next few weeks or months that things are going to just absolutely explode here. So it's about to get really real, probably really quickly. Otherwise, things have been on a little bit of a go slow actually, which has been quite nice. It's given us time to focus a little bit more on the things that we're quite interested in. So I quite like working with the kids, so I've been able to do that, which has been really wonderful. But we are seeing a massive increase in the amount of trauma. So as lockdown regulations are being a little bit eased and stuff like that, people have better access to alcohol. We've seen so many car accidents, we've seen a lot of assault, a lot of stab wounds, things like that, and people who aren't just really respecting the lockdown regulations. So it's a little bit crazy, but overall not too bad at the moment. However, as I'm sure you know, in the rest of the country, things are absolutely insane, with high care beds being full, ICU beds being full, casualties being packed to capacity, wards being full, people being extremely overworked, tired, burnt out. I feel it myself coming on, like, slowly at the moment, but surely. So I know it's going to get a lot worse, but taking things one day at a time, one challenge at a time, one patient at a time, which I suppose is all we can really do in situations like this, especially when we don't really, like, it's all uncharted territory. So we do what we can with the information that we have and with the resources that we have as well. But thank you so much to all of you who have sent messages through, who are thinking about us, who are praying for us. It is genuinely greatly appreciated, because to have made it 6 months, almost 7 months through this year so far, in a place that's so far away from home, that's so foreign, it's been a big challenge. So just the messages of encouragement and all the love that's been sent and the prayers that you guys have mentioned have been greatly appreciated. So thank you so much for that. Going forward, I suppose just much of the same. Endurance and strength are the main things that I'd like prayer for. Just like I said, because I imagine it's going to get really, really tough really, really soon. So that would be greatly appreciated. And just, it's always nice to hear from you guys. It would be lovely if you dropped me a message every now and then, kept me in the loop, so that I know how things are going on that side. This Sunday morning Zoom chats before church are great. I'm going to try and attend as many of them as possible. So please join in and we can catch up. That would be absolutely lovely. And just from my side to all of you, please stay safe. It would be wonderful to be able to see you all again next year at church, worshiping together, fellowshipping together. That would be wonderful. So wash your hands, remember to social distance, please wear your masks, please be considerate, and hopefully I will see you guys all on the other side. So lots of love to all of you. I'm going to put my mask back on and I'm going to go back to work because the casualty is calling. All right, see you.
Hi everyone, my name is Janine Cornelius and I am an educator at a primary school in the Athlone area. I just want to give you a quick update as to what is currently happening at our school. So far we have welcomed our grade 7, our grade 6 and our grade R learners, and I must commend our school staff. Given our some of our challenges and our lack of resources, we have managed to the best of our ability to implement some of the health and safety protocols and guidelines that we've received from the education department. With that being said, some of the challenges that we do face is the weather. So when we have to do our screening in the morning, we don't have a wall where we can allocate the children to do the screening. And so this is a bit of a concern for us as educators. We've also discovered, especially with regards to our grade 7, since they have been the longest at the school, they become a bit more relaxed in terms of their behavior towards one another, and so we have to constantly remind them to put on their face masks, to maintain a appropriate physical distance. And this obviously causes a bit of anxiety amongst the teachers, because we need to ensure that the children are adhering to the safety measures. I do have about 2 prayer requests for us. Please pray for, and I've written it on the board, please pray for human and financial resources. We had 2 of our staff members that applied to the department because they have comorbidities. Unfortunately, the department turned that application down, and they have to report for duty, so it is also worrying for them. However, we are still short of staff. We had to lay off about 3 support staff workers. So pray for that the Lord will provide the human resources and the finances. And then also please pray for the mental, the physical and the emotional health and well-being of all educators and learners. We are hoping to receive more grades in the next few weeks, and because of our lack of resources, it's becoming a bit of a challenge. So thank you for your concern. Thank you for your prayers. We would really appreciate it. God bless. Goodbye.